Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews and welcome to another weekly entertainment news video here. So we got a couple of things to go over here, some update with the El-Muerto movie, update with Marvel's position when it comes to the Comic-Con coming up later on in July, a couple of little trailers to talk about here, so lots to go over, so let's just get straight into it here. So before we dive into everything here, of course, as usual, timestamps will be in the description down below. Any news story that you do want to go ahead, hear more about, focus on, listen to my thoughts about, timestamps will be in the description down below for all of that. And again, the usual YouTube stuff. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell. Do these every single week so that you're not missing out on this whenever I do post. I also just did a DC tier ranking list for all the DC movies, DCEU, non-DCEU movies, Peacemaker show, all included. So if you're interested in the tier ranking videos, I'll post a link somewhere about there. Go ahead, check out the channel for that if you are interested in that. But for the first big story, the first trailer that I do want to talk about here, the big trailer that got revealed earlier this week was the Kraven the Hunter trailer with Sony, part of the Sony spin-off universe here. I did a shorts about it. Again, I'll post the link above here. My initial reactions. I know that was a lot of criticisms when it comes to the actual movie itself. Be completely honest, when it comes to Sony's spin-off movie, I'm just sort of my brain just shuts down. Take everything that I know when it comes to Spider-Man out of the window here. This again, the trailer, the origin of Kraven with the blood from the lion dropping into his body. It's Sony. I'm just gonna not even bother with it. But in terms of the tone, the physicality, the violence, I love that part of the trailer. I love the kills. I love the aspects of him biting the nose off, spitting it out, using a bear trap to kill one of those henchmen. I just love everything that they showed in the trailer when it comes to the violence aspect of it. You also got to see a little bit of Rhino, guessing he's going to be one of the villains in the movie itself. You see here the poster that we got released of Kraven, which honestly Aaron Taylor-Johnson just looks fantastic in the poster. Looks really brilliant. I'm hoping we do get that more comic book accurate look, as I mentioned in my shorts. Having him look more comic book accurate, look more like Kraven the Hunter. But for me, obviously, there are nitpicks, there are issues I have with it, especially about that lines about these villains aren't born, they are made. That nonsense about that. Having Kraven the Hunter use animals as his friends or allies or whatever it was during the trailer, it was one of the issues that I also had. But overall, you see Russell Crowe, you see some first looks at Kraven the Hunter at the trailer with these photos that they released. You've got Russell Crowe here, you've got Kraven the Hunter, like I said in the poster. We see Rhino, the first look at Rhino, his arm. So overall, based on this, my expectation is pretty low when it comes to this movie, because like I said, I just don't have high hopes with Sony given their track record here. So I'm not expecting this to blow me out the water. I'm not expecting this. I'm hoping that is not expecting it to be another Morbius movie, but you just never know with Sony. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. What your thoughts are about the trailer. Do you have high expectations? Are you thinking it's going to be another Morbius movie? Please let me know in the comment section down below. And then the second trailer that we got released here was the Dumb Money movie. They did talk about this in CinemaCon. I mentioned this in the CinemaCon panel here. But we got the first trailer of Dumb Money, and I gotta say, based off of the trailer, this looks so much fun. This looks like it's going to be one of those fun, entertaining, brilliant to watch movie. If you're not aware of what the movie is about, it's based on a true story, just following the chaos of GameStop's skyrocketing stock due to a person from Reddit. And you just see the highs and lows. You see the difference between the people from Reddit, the people getting into the stock, and these billionaire shareholder stock people. And you just see the ups and downs between each aspect of these. The cast, amazing cast here. So you've got Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier from Marvel. You've got Kingpin himself, Vincent D'Onofrio in this. We see a first look at them here. You've got the cast of Paul Dano, who played the Riddler from the Batman movie here. You've got Seth Rogen's Pete Davidson, Anthony Ramos. So a really great cast, a really star-studded cast here. And you just see, like I said, the cast just bouncing off one another here. The trailer, you can just see the craziness in the trailer with everything going on in the stock market. I am loving the look of this here. I'm really excited to see this. When I heard about it back in CinemaCon, I was super pumped to see what this could be about. And now watching this trailer, definitely am wanting to check this out. If you have seen a trailer, let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below, what your thoughts are about this. Would you check it out? Would you give it a miss? Please let me know in the comment section down below. And just a quick couple of small updates that we've got here. So in terms of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, last week I mentioned about the spin-off show with Knuckles that's going to be taking place in between Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. So in terms of Sonic 3 itself, so we have got a reportedly update in terms of filming. So it says here that filming is going to be beginning on August 31st of this year, with the film coming out in December of next year. So there was a couple of worry about this taking place the same time as Avatar 3, but obviously Avatar 3 has been now delayed for another year, so no clashes with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The first two movies I'm a huge fan of. I'm loving what they're doing with this franchise, with Sonic. Huge fan of Sonic in terms of the video games and the shows. So this is coming from the production list here, confirming that shoot date is going to be taking place on August 31st of 2023, being located in London, the UK. Now, if you want to do more research on this here, I don't want to post a link because I know with YouTube they're just gonna like screw everything up when it comes to the video here, but in terms of like the link itself, if you Google Sonic the Hedgehog 3 production list, for me it's the second link, just click on that, you'll be able to see all the details here. So most likely filming is going to be taking place, or we'll start seeing some set photos. Last time with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 we did see some set photos, especially with like the figures of Sonic, Tails and Knuckles. Like you see the not animatronics, but like the small statues of them, just to capture the lighting and everything like that. That was one of my favorite set photos in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, so we might start seeing more of that here, potentially seeing Shadow the Hedgehog 2, so hopefully we might get a look of that. But super pumped for this movie here, excited to start seeing filming now beginning with this. Let me know your thoughts about this in terms of excitement level for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now for the next news story here, two updates when it comes to the Shyamalan movie. So you've got M. Night Shyamalan's next project here. This is coming from The Deadline. Basically, Cine Europe is taking place right now here, and so Warner Brothers set up a presentation mostly talking about Dune Part 2 with Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet, but we also got confirmation of M. Night Shyamalan's next movie called Trap, basically confirming here is a psychological thriller set in a concert. It's going to be releasing in August 2nd of 2024, so not much else is known about it in terms of who's going to be in it, the casting or anything like that. But with M. Night Shyamalan's movie, it is very hit and miss. Like the hits for me, Knock at the Cabin, like not the best movie, but still an entertaining movie nonetheless. Disappointed with the ending, but that's the thing, is you get a rollercoaster of a ride with M. Night Shyamalan's movies here, and you always have to be prepared for the ending and the reveals for it. So with this one, it's going to be an interesting concept here, a psychological thriller set at a concert. Curious to see what they're going to do with it here. Once we do get more information, definitely we'll let you know on, again, these weekly entertainment news videos, so subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this concept here, this premise of M. Night Shyamalan's next movie here, the title named Trap and the concept. Let me know in the comment section down below. But when it comes to his daughter, because for the next news story here is, I mentioned this a while back as well, that his daughter is going to be working on a movie herself. This is going to be called The Watchers here, and basically is starring Dakota Fanning and Georgina Campbell, following an artist who gets stranded in a forest alongside three strangers and is then stalked by the mysterious creature. Again, I brought this up in one of the weekly entertainment news videos a while back in terms of the casting news and the premise of it. So it's basically set as a gothic fairy tale, with now a release date confirming here that this is going to be released in June 7th of 2024, so basically next year. So very interested to see once we get a first trailer of the look of it, how it's going to feel like. It does pique my interest, so I am curious. I'm going to see how she's going to see if she's going to take after her father in terms of like the twists and turns in terms of like the movie and the roller coaster of emotions that you're going to go through with it, or if it's going to be a complete different spin with her take on it. So very curious to see. Waiting for the trailer, waiting to see some first looks to see if we can get a rough idea. But let me know your thoughts about this. Out of the two, Trap and The Watchers, which one do you think you'd lean more towards? Which one do you think you'd check out first before the other? Please let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Now for the next news story here, just a quick update when it comes to the Penguin TV show. I mentioned it again last week that this show has been delayed due to the writer's strike, but basically they confirmed here earlier this week is the new logo and the new look for the Penguin show. Wanted to present it out here. So you've got DC Max Originals, the Penguin, definitely the same tone and vibe to the Batman movie in terms of the font and the tone of the writing. So you definitely have that same aspect, same feel to it here. So this is just like the first logo of the penguin. For me, I love this. I'm loving the bright color of the red along with the black background. Really liking what I'm seeing so far when it comes to the penguin show. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Do you like the logo? Do you like the look? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, now for the next news story here is that we've got not really an update, but just an actor bringing his role into the table here. So this is coming from the Deadline, confirming that Jensen Ackles would want to play the Batman in the Batman Brave and the Bold, and even joked that Pedro Pascal is getting it because he's getting all the roles here. So last week I confirmed here that Andy Muschietti has been confirmed to be directing the Batman Brave and the Bold movie, the upcoming project for the new DCEU slate. So Jensen Ackles, which is a name that has been circulating when it comes to playing Batman here, he wants to reportedly put himself in as the Batman, which honestly I don't think that's bad. Looking at his filmography here, I honestly haven't seen him in any of these movies here, but he actually voiced Batman in the Batman The Long Halloween movie, which honestly I really like that portrayal of Batman. So I think he could be a really decent Batman, and I'm really hoping that he is like one of the front runners when it comes to this. I think I mentioned it last week. It was between him and Ben Barnes as the two people that I would most likely lean towards here. So for me, I'm actually really curious and seeing how this is going to be developed here. We'll definitely be keeping an eye out on that. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. What do you think about Jensen Ackles moving in as playing the Batman? Do you have any other potential picks? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. Now for the next news story here, as we continue on to the DC train, is we've got an update when it comes to the Swamp. As you already know here, that James Mangold has confirmed he's going to be directing the Swamp Thing movie here. So he was doing an interview, this is coming from the Variety, he was doing an interview in terms of like the Indiana Jones 5 movie here, and talking about mostly the Indiana Jones movies, but he was asked about the Swamp Thing movie as well, and he basically confirmed this. While I'm sure DC views Swamp Thing as a franchise, I would be viewing it as a very simple, clean gothic horror movie about this man/monster. He says, Mangold had been toying for years with the idea of making kind of a Frankenstein movie. He adds, so when James Gunn and Peter Safran took the reins of DC last fall, Manga put in a friendly call to suggest himself, just doing my own thing with this, just a standalone. So he basically just confirmed, again, it's going to be this horror gothic movie, which again, super pumped about, but it's also going to be a standalone movie, so it's not going to lead to anything in terms of like DC related or anything like that, because like for superhero movies, especially like Marvel, each movie is like a setup to the next movie, so it's not ever a standalone movie. So he's basically confirming that the writing and the storytelling and the script for this movie is just solely focused on the character arc of Swamp Thing and nothing else, which honestly I'm glad about, because like with James Mangold, I'm super excited for his upcoming Star Wars project. He done a fantastic job with Logan, so I'm really excited about this project with him being attached to it, and the fact that this is going to be a gothic horror movie being a standalone movie, this just gets me more excited about this. So just really curious and excited to hear more about this, and once we start getting more information, more details, this could honestly be a really great start to like DCEU when it comes to like the directors so far. So you've got Andy Muschietti, James Gunn and James Mangold so far with like these projects of Superman, Batman and now Swamp Thing. I'm really excited so far when it comes to like the new DC slate. Let me know your thoughts about this. First of all, what you think about this just being a standalone movie, what your thoughts are about it being a horror gothic movie. Let me know in the comment section down below. But for the final thing, when it comes to like DCU related, this is more or less related to DC and Marvel. So we have got Comic-Con coming up later on in July here. So with James Gunn, he's going to be basically confirming who the new Superman is in Comic-Con, and I'm guessing that he's pretty happy with what Marvel has announced, which I'll bring up in the next couple of minutes here. But when it comes to DC side of things here, we'll definitely be hearing about who is going to be taking on Superman, Lois Lane. I mentioned it last week that they are doing test screenings, like putting on costumes, seeing how the person is going to look. So we'll definitely be hearing more about that, and of course we'll be keeping you updated on the channel with the weekly entertainment news. Most likely might do separate videos depending on like when they announce it and how much information they do release here. So keep an eye out on the channel when they do get that announcement. But with James Gunn being happy with Marvel's related side of things here, because basically when it comes to Marvel, they have confirmed they're not going to be taking part in the Comic-Con. They are basically reportedly here skipping Hall H. This is coming from the Wrap, and it's basically confirming here that Marvel Studios is going to be skipping Comic-Con Hall H this year. There is a whole lot of reasons as to why they're skipping it here. So you've got like the writer strike going on, so all the production is being paused right now for all their upcoming projects here. I believe that with the Jonathan Majors situation here, which I'm not going to go too much into, but they're just waiting on the outcome with his trial date set to August. So most likely just seeing what happens here. So just a whole bunch of reasons as to why this is happening. So we also got confirmation here, when it comes to the wrap. So it currently has multiple production on pause due to the ongoing writer's strike. The productions currently on pause includes Blade, Thunderbolts, Daredevil, Wonder Man. And so with the writer's strike, it makes it tough for the studios to show up any annual convention without products and performers to promote their projects. Basically meaning that the cast, for example, like Daredevil, they can't really show up to promote this, because normally with Marvel they have like these cast members here, people that are part of it. So for example, you would have had Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox appearing along with other cast members. Here you would have had Mahershala Ali coming in to promote Blade, but that's on pause. Everything's on pause, so these actors can't come in and promote the project here, like I mentioned when it comes to the situation with Jonathan Majors. And I believe that they also have like D23 coming up in September, where they do also reveal a bunch of things, so most likely they're going to be waiting for that to do any kind of announcement. This has been rumored around, not 100% concrete or confirmed, so take this with a pinch of salt. But when it comes to like the casting of Fantastic Four, we're most likely going to get that in September now with the D23. So nothing really for them to reveal here, so that's probably why they're skipping it. So like I mentioned, James Gunn's probably happy that nothing's going to overshadow his big announcements with who Superman is going to be. So interesting turn of events. Again, not surprised with everything going on here, especially when it comes to like Marvel side of things. It is expected. They haven't really like done much when it comes to Comic-Con these past couple of years, because they are waiting for D23 every September. Trailers, announcements, all that kind of stuff. But let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below, what your thoughts are about Marvel skipping it here, who you think is going to be announced as Superman in James Gunn's Comic-Con section side of things here. Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. But for the final news story here, and one, I'm honestly just mind blown here, because we have got an update when it comes to the El-Muerto movie, the Sony spin-off movie that nobody has been asking for here. And I mentioned last week that they are planning on filming later on this month. Well, actually, Sony has reportedly removed the release date of the movie. So it was reportedly going to be coming out in January of next year. But, and again, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter here, is confirming that Sony has removed Bad Bunny's Spider-Man spin-off movie El-Muerto from the calendar here. So it was dated for January 12th of 2024, but the writer's strike has claimed another victim. So again, due to the writer's strike, this has been delayed here. Now it's basically been reported that with Bad Bunny's schedule as a musician going on tour, that with this delay and then him going on tour, there's really not going to be any time for them to be filming, writing, doing all of that stuff with the project. So they basically just removed the release slate for this movie, which really doesn't bode well at all, and I don't think anybody is disappointed with it. So what we're seeing here is that the project had not even started shooting yet, so making the date would have been either a race or a non-starter. Sources say the project fell victim to the ongoing writer's strike. The script needed additional work as of mid-spring, but services could not be rendered in time. The feature was also not yet cast, but sources say the studios was making choices and had been circling professional wrestler Mercedes Varnado, known as her stage name Sasha Banks, for the role, Marvin Jones 3 for the role of the crime lord known as Tombstone, who previously voiced the same character in the Into the Spider-Verse animated movie, along with like Bad Bunny taking part as El-Muerto. And honestly, I'm so relieved, like, as Tombstone is a great villain, a great character, and the person that voiced him, Marvin Jones, has got the build for Tombstone. His voice casting in the Into the Spider-Verse movie as Tombstone, I really like that voice casting. So I'm so happy that they're not going to be wasting it on this movie, and that hopefully he's going to be appearing in another movie. Honestly, never expected Sasha Banks to appear in a Sony Spider-Man spin-off movie here, but honestly, nothing surprises me with Sony anymore. But, and again, as we continue here, another factor in the release undated was Bad Bunny's touring schedule, which had firmed up while the movie was dallying. It is unclear what the fate of the project will be, as it is not clear how long Bad Bunny can remain attached, because I believe like with like music tours, they go on for like a while, like almost half a year or even like longer than that, to be honest. Like I can't give you the exact time frame because I'm not the guy to go to when it comes to like music tours or any of that kind of stuff, but it's just that with everything going on, everything just points to this movie just being removed from the spin-off universe, El-Muerto not joining the Sinister Six. So like I said, I don't think anybody is disappointed or heartbroken about this here. Like I said last week, maybe that one person, that 1% that was really excited about this, but this movie just wasn't going to work whatsoever. So maybe they can focus on other like projects. Maybe they can focus on Spider-Man 4, or like you've got so much things with Spider-Man, like We have been blessed with so many things when it comes to Spider-Man that have just been so underutilized. Venom, Kraven. I'm going to put Rhino because he appeared in the Kraven trailer here. And you've got the upcoming Madam Web project. You want to do a live action Miles Morales. You want to do a Spider-Man 4. You want to do a animated Spider-Woman. So you've just got so much projects to work with. I'd rather just focus on quality over quantity with Sony, but they're not going to listen with that. They're just going to keep pumping it out. But at least El-Muerto is off the table as of right now. Pardon the interruption here. As you can see, I'm recording while editing the video here because there was actually some breaking news story regarding the Bad Bunny El-Muerto movie. So Bad Bunny has officially left the role as El-Muerto. So he's no longer going to be playing the role of El-Muerto in this Sony spin-off movie here. This is coming from the One Take News over on Twitter, a highly reliable source. They've officially confirmed that the project is still going. They're looking to recast the role of El-Muerto, but Bad Bunny has officially left the project. Honestly, the news just gets more and more interesting with this project. Some interesting turn of events, but Sony just does not want to give up on this movie. They're still going for it. The whole point of this was to just try and catch on to Bad Bunny's popularity with him releasing some good music here and just trying to bring that fan base in. So now that him being off the table, curious to see who they are going to cast. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this, having Bad Bunny now officially off the table here. Let me know your thoughts about that, but I'll head you back to my past version where we'll wrap up the weekly entertainment news video here. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. What your thoughts are about having El-Muerto being off the table, what your thoughts are about the casting of this so far. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. But that about wraps it up when it comes to this weekly entertainment news video here. Curious to know your thoughts about everything we discussed in terms of, first of all, the Swampthing casting, the Batman casting news here, along with like Marvel skipping Comic-Con. Let me know all your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. And again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and like button so that you don't miss out on these videos every single week coming to the channel here. But thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for listening. This is YK Reviews. Peace.